Hello team, and welcome to Zenstream here. Hope you're well and thank you for joining us. Whether this is your first time joining us today, welcome to your first Zenstream. And if you've been with us before, welcome back to Zenstream. And this is a great way for us to connect to our customers and give you guys fantastic updates week in, week out about exciting things happening from Zen Imports and also with our brands as well, and also new product launches. My name's Adam, I'm the brand manager here for Ledlenser, and I'm very excited today. We've got a guest speaker here, Gordon Dedman. Gordon runs amazing outdoor bushcraft survival courses, and let me tell you, if you're out in the bush and you're ever stuck, this is the man you want to be with, you know, to ensure that you actually get out there safely. So thank you for joining us today, Gordon.
My pleasure, Adam. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries at all. Gordon's also a great ambassador for Zen Imports and some of our brands, in particular Mora Knife and also Fjallraven as well. So Gordon's been using Ledlenser for a number of years now.
Yeah, that's a fantastic product actually. I've used a lot of their products, both military-wise and my bushcraft survival courses, but they're fantastic products.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and again, today's going to be all about Ledlenser, and I've kind of thrown Gordon in the deep end here. It was only about 5 minutes ago I saw Gordon coming in and said, hey, jump on in, and you know, so we're completely off the cuff here, which is great, but that's sometimes where you get the best information. So one thing today about Ledlenser I wanted to talk about is the new lantern range. As you guys are well aware, this year we've had a huge year for Ledlenser. We've actually launched 84 new products.
That's a lot.
This year, yeah.
That's a massive amount.
Yeah, so, you know, some very exciting times here for Zen Imports and especially Ledlenser, globally too. And two of those products actually are the ML4 and ML6 warm lights. And as you guys probably know, you know, obviously we have the ML4 and ML6 white lights, which we have here, but now we've added in the warm light edition. So to give you a much more natural light output, a higher color temperature rating as well, and there's also some fantastic new features in the ML4 and ML6 warm lights, which we'll chat about in a few minutes time. But I thought having Gordon here, you know, being an outdoor enthusiast, I thought I'd just get your thoughts on the ML4 and ML6 lanterns. Do you use these products yourself?
All the time, Adam, in a number of different settings. So in our Bushcraft Survival Australia courses, we run different courses for all ages. Firstly, the ML6 is a great camp lantern with the hook at the bottom. That actually hangs up nicely, and that'll last all night. You've got the different variations in the brightness, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the warm light. It's going to be more like a campfire. So we have a campfire going at the same time. But for all different aspects when we're doing, because we do a lot of lessons at night to maximise the time on the lesson, so people can learn as much as 3 days. And that's usually hoisted up into the centre of the parachute, and that actually lights the whole place up at night. But it's not like in your face. It's, and you can turn that right down, and I've actually had that on low, and it's lasted 3 days. That's just one setting I use it. The other way I often use it is just when I'm around my troopy, I just, with the magnetised bottom, just stick straight on the side of a troopy, and sort of depending on what I'm doing, the thing that I use quite a bit is the red filter, and sort of just subdues the light. I sometimes use that in camp as well, and that actually, I would hate bright lights at night, particularly when you're sort of out in the bush, and so that's a bit more subdued. And it works really well. So that clips in inside the car, and it's just it's just great. It's fantastic. Yeah, so I'm really impressed with that. I'm not used to flashing red light.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. That's fantastic.
But it's a fantastic light, and it's just so versatile. And on the last course, actually, because we've got the power bank that charges, you'll charge your phone. Pretty much, we'd had a lot of it with the students charging their equipment. And not that it's about equipment at all, our courses, but for emergency's sake, I've charged my mobile phone, and as a means of communication from the battery charger on that as well. And that's one I use that all the time, and I leave it in the car and I use it in the car, so it's got so many applications actually.
Yeah.
And the ML4, well, that goes with me, and I take that away on military things in conjunction with the MH8.
Yep.
Of course, you can't use white light tactically, but if in a non-tactical situation, I will. So that's really bright. So in dormitories and things like that, when I'm out, or just when I read it when I'm out camping,
yep.
I'll use that when I'm out in the bush, and also the red light. For map reading, sometimes tactically, that's actually subdued enough that you can actually read a map.
Yeah, of course. Well. Yeah.
So that's another great thing. And actually, out on patrols and things like that, I'll actually hang that up.
Yep.
And that's so portable, so light. The magnetic USB chargeable, that's fantastic, and that fits in most things. But it's just so, when you need a light, you don't need to keep any other people awake.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sort of
yeah.
So it's actually really, really, and even under a tarp.
Yep.
You can't really see that from any angle. So outside, I use that. I actually lend these to lots of students that don't have a light and need a light. So it actually, the applications of that are massive, and it just fits anywhere in most small kits. So that's always in my small daily pack, whether it's civilian or I'm out in the bush teaching on courses or even military. I always have that with me. It's just like a secondary backup light other than the MH8. So wonderful, versatile, like that just clips onto anything. I was using it reading in bed last night. Just with that up there, and that's mine. It's just easy. Just got to remember to take it with you.
Yes, definitely.
Because it's so small.
Absolutely, and I mean, it's obviously such a unique feature. You mentioned the power bank in the ML6, and obviously the ML4. I think a great feature as well is just being able to, if you ever get stuck and you run out of battery, you can replace that with a AA alkaline battery. If you ever got stuck out there. So if I think there's so many unique applications to those products.
I've never had to do that yet, even though I've just found that the batteries last so long.
Yep.
And the great thing about all the Ledlensers, they just don't. They don't just suddenly fade. They will give you those warning flashes that it's about to, and it just suddenly dies. But they've got like that 4 lumens right up until that point.
Yep.
And it's just it sort of outlasts anything I've ever had. And that's why when I first saw them, they're great, and just the versatility of having this type of lantern. Just versus the head torch, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, so many applications you can use for that, and so I'm very excited. Actually, Gordon actually hasn't seen the ML6 warm light and the ML4 warm lights yet, because this is very new to us at Ledlenser here in Australia. We actually get stock in the warm light editions next week, so we're not too far away from launching these amazing products. But I managed to get myself a ML6 warm light as a sample, just to show everyone here today and show yourself. And I'd love to get your feedback as well when you're out and about on the weekend, maybe, and you can test run it. But some unique features of the ML6 warm light compared to obviously the white light is you get that more natural light output. So you were talking before about the campfire and how it gives you that kind of warm feeling, and also that warm light will be a little bit more pleasant to the eye as well. Yeah,
I find that of course with our courses, the holidays is where with the bushcraft is just sort of minimal use of equipment to get away from all that down the track, and that is the whole point, going to the bush. So the fire's all you'd have, but sometimes running courses and things like that. But having a camp light that looks natural. Sometimes we use the Lucy lights, and there's those sort of subdued. But I always prefer the subdued lights in those solar powered lights. But to have something like that does that, it's sort of you wouldn't even know, but it's it's not intrusive.
Yep.
And I think out in the bush that's really important. Otherwise, it's just
it's a bit too in your face. Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be really interesting, and that would sort of blend nicely with the main because our campfire classroom is under a parachute.
Yep.
And so for night lessons, because we do a lot of stuff at night, particularly up in Darwin, we run courses up there because some things are just too hot during the day. So
of course.
At night as well. So that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, obviously, it's got all the same functions as the ML6 warm light. Your mounting functions and how you actually hang the product itself, magnetic base, everything that comes with the ML6. But it also is equipped with our latest magnetic charge system.
Right.
So this is the upgraded charging system to the ML4, and that simply just snaps on there through magnets, charges the ML6. It's a quick charge time as well. But also the benefits of the ML6 warm light is the run time. And you can actually get the lumen output down to 5 lumens with the ML6 warm light. I mean, 5 lumens is obviously very low. Is that important from when you're out there in the bush to have that low lumen output?
Yeah, I suppose it depends on what you're doing. You're teaching a lesson, you might want more, but sometimes I just leave a light on just for, say, students, depending on the age group of the students, so they know where the centre of camp is, and just to give you that little bit of ambience around camp, because that is that sort of main place, and sometimes you don't want to, so that's just going to last longer, and you just need just a little bit of light, and I think that'll be perfect, rather than thinking, oh, hang on, so that, intrusive artificial light, but that fit that bill, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when you're actually using that 5 lumen light output, it actually gives you 180 hours of runtime. Wow, so a long time out there.
That's too cool. That's a whole week-long course.
That'll
be for where we've got a 7-day basic to intermediate bushcraft survival course coming up, and that's 7 days.
Yeah,
students would so that sort of thing would be great out there.
Yeah,
of course, with something like that makes it obviously rechargeable with solar. And other grand things like with the power travellers and
absolutely.
So with all that. And I often use the two in conjunction, charge all my Ledlenser stuffs with the power traveller, solar powered units, and they work great, particularly up in northern Australia. Got lots of sun. And that's how I charge when I'm out there for a couple of weeks at a time. That's how I charge everything.
Yeah, fantastic.
And that works well. So these are really low, and they charge very easily from those. So, and that's your light source at night, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, perfect. So you're set for more than a week then.
Yeah, exactly. They're fantastic. I'm looking forward to trying that.
Yeah, and I guess there was actually one other feature I wanted to talk about with the ML6 warm light. So we actually call it the ML6 Warm Light Connect. Reason being is it has Bluetooth capability, so we can connect it to our Ledlenser Connect app as well and control that through our phone. But you also get a little wristband as well with the ML6 Warm Light, so we can actually operate the ML6 through our wristband, and the actual switch mechanism mimics that on the ML6. So you've got the 3 switches there, and the same thing on your wristband, so you can control the brightness setting. So I'm just dimming it down now, and then I can increase it up, and then obviously go through the different modes, being red light, blink.
Can I stick this one on to see the difference between?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh.
It might be running low on battery.
Okay, that is significant, isn't it?
There we go. So you can see that. I don't know if you can see that as well in the camera as what we can here, but you should be able to see more of that, warmer coloured light here as opposed to that bright white light as well in there. So there is a big difference there in the actual colour temperature of that light.
No, that's a massive difference.
And then I'll just switch that ML6 off. There we go. Okay. So pretty nifty little feature there.
That is.
And I'm sure it can be used in a wide range of applications as well. But what I wanted to do is just thank Gordon again. Thank you very much for joining us today. I know it was very last minute.
No, it's my pleasure, Adam.
And I appreciate you, obviously jumping in and giving, our customers some insight as to what you use the ML6 and ML4 warm lights for and white lights. And I look forward to seeing you trying out the warm light and getting some feedback from you.
I'm really looking forward to trying that. It'll be great, brilliant. Actually, I'll ask Carlos about that today.
Actually. Absolutely. And so the ML6 and ML4 warm lights are on Zenport, and you can pre-order these now. Like I said, they are going to be arriving in about a week and a half's time, and we are going to be launching those as soon as we get stock. So please jump on to Zenport, put through your orders. Any further questions? Feel free to contact myself or our customer service team, and we can help you out further. So thank you again for joining us today. Thank you again, Gordon. I appreciate your time, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday.